We've seen college coaches transition into the NFL before. We've seen it work out very well like it did for Jimmy Johnson and even Jim Harbaugh, but we've seen it be a disaster for some other coaches like Steve Spurrier or Bobby Petrino. But in most cases, the coach had so much success in the college that NFL teams waived their concerns of not having experience at that level to go and choose a college head coach instead of going inside the league. Well, this really wasn't the case for Kliff Kingsbury. He was a head coach at Texas Tech for 6 seasons, and he left the school with a losing record with 35 wins and 40 losses. He never had a winning season inside the conference, and he had quarterbacks like David Webb, Baker Mayfield, and Patrick Mahomes. But the Cardinals must have loved his air raid style offense and thought it would be perfect for their rebuild with their new franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray. So in today's video, I want to cover the direction of the Arizona Cardinals are heading and why I think Kliff Kingsbury is in the hot seat this year. First, let's see what moves GM Steve Keim has made with the team since then. And I don't really feel like they're trying to do a slow and steady rebuild through the draft. They have been ultra aggressive in free agency and trades and hitting on a lot of their draft picks. After the Josh Rosen experiment started and ended within a year, they drafted a quarterback in the first round for the second year in a row and got Kyler Murray. This was also the year that Budda Baker really started coming out at his own in the secondary and being the leader of the defense. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, they have a lot of really nice pieces. They have Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson, who are very good safeties. They drafted Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins in back-to-back first-round picks who seem like they're a very athletic, young, and exciting linebacking core. They also brought in J.J. Watt, which was huge for them. They got him to line up on the opposite side of Chandler Jones, who's one of the premier pass rushers in this league. On the offensive side of the ball, they have a quarterback who is my pick for MVP this season. They brought in a true number 1 receiver and stole DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans. They got a year under their belt now, and it seems like they already have great rapport together. They also brought in AJ Green, who was once a top 5 receiver in this league. I love this signing because we really get to see how much he has left in the tank, and I think he can actually be very productive if he doesn't have to be the number 1 guy and he can stay healthy. They also have Christian Kirk and rookie speedster Rondell Moore out of Purdue to play the slot and be the track team on the inside. All of these moves indicate a win-now situation. Even the offensive line situation that was abysmal in 2018 got so much better. Last year, they finished with the 12th best offensive line in the NFL, which, isn't bad. So to make a long story short, I was not and am still not convinced about Kliff Kingsbury as a coach in the NFL. I like the air raid offense and I think it has potential to work, but it also is the perfect way to get yourself out of games by putting your defense on the field with a very quick turnaround. There are no excuses for Kliff this year. Personally, I think there were way too many for him last year, as I think the Cardinals way underperformed what they should have. He does have some interesting concepts and play calls that are very innovative and makes me think he can be a great coach, but he also has some very questionable calls that are directly his fault. For example, in a must-win game to make the playoffs, Kyler gets hurt and is nursing an injury. Instead of taking him out or helping him out with some different play calling, he did the worst of both. He took him out of the game completely until they were in a drive where they needed to score to win. He puts him back on 4th down and runs a speed option with an injured Murray. Judgment calls like these in a must-win game is why I just don't trust him as a coach. To me, he also seems a little bit too nonchalant with losses. I get being professional and nice to the other team, but all the great coaches don't like losing, and you will see this in certain ways. Watching Kliff Kingsbury interviews, especially post-game losses, is really hard to watch because it can seem like he can be so content and almost like he isn't interested or doesn't care that they lost. I don't want to be too picky, but I honestly don't think that is. This is why I think Kliff is on the hot seat this year for the Cardinals, and this isn't a rebuild team right now. This is a team that wants to make the playoffs and win in the playoffs. And I feel like the bar was just set so low when he got there after their 3-win season that they got 5 and it was exciting. And even last year when they got 8, I think they should have at least gotten 10 or maybe even 11. I really love their team, but to switch to a lighter note, I do like all the moves the Cardinals are making. They went out and got their number 1 guy in D-Hop. They're drafting weapons and improving their line to help Kyler be successful. They're also adding pieces to fix the holes they have on their defense with all the people they signed and drafted that I mentioned earlier. They do need some more help in the secondary, but since sense. I trust their management. I know they will find a way to make it work sooner or later. But let me know what you guys think. I know this is a bit shorter of a video, but this is something I think we need to address now so we can look at it going into the season, keep our eye on it, and keep it updated on the way there. I just think Kliff Kingsbury is way too overrated right now. He isn't a proven college coach. I don't know why he was eligible to go get it when there's people like Eric Bellarmine out there. I mean, just so many people that they could have gotten. But I think this is his last year, and if he doesn't have a great season, I think even if he has a good season, that's what the Cardinals expected, and I think he's still going to be out and they're going to find their coach for the future. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like the video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think of Kliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals and what you think their record is going to be this year. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content, and as always, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.